Hi everybody, it's James from Jurassic Unicast, and today we are discussing Jurassic World Rebirth. And today I am also joined with some of the boys. Here they come. There's Chris, Mike, and Matt. There we go. There we go.
How's it going, boys?
How are we all?
So
I have a theory of where I would like to see this whole franchise go next in the next film. So we know how at the end they're talking about we're going to open source this DNA so that everyone can have a sample of it. It's not just something that's specific to the rich few and people can do all sorts of experiments and do what they want with it, right? Just because open sourced it and made it available to everyone doesn't now mean that everyone is going to do what you want them to do with it. So what's to say now that there's other idiots out there that see this DNA stuff's all about and think, oh, this is interesting. Let's go to the island and get our own samples and maybe other samples that they haven't acquired. It then becomes a whole free-for-all for everyone to go back to the island, hunt these things till they've gone blue in the face. And what I would love it all to end with is you've got fatalities left, right, and centre. You've got governments being bombarded with red tape and lawsuits and potential war crimes of all galore, and they napalm the whole island. So again, taking something from the books, bringing it back to something that we would like to see happen, and it cleans the whole problem for everybody. Now, what you do for the third film is another question altogether, but that's why I would like to see the second film go.
I think there's only one realistic reason that they could ever go back to the island. I think that they're going to bring DX into the next movie because the little girl, she took Dolores on the boat at the escape at the end, right? Now, what if she's carrying the DX virus and they have to go back to the island to find a cure?
Yeah.
And maybe that's because there's a few dinosaurs on that island, the Rex, Dilo, the Raptors. These are all meant to be genetic, like you mutated freaks that have, they're either ugly to look at or something wrong with them, right? Maybe if the normal dinosaurs, the reason they were dumped there and left there because they have DX, and obviously they know it's deadly to humans or whatever. So that is why if they bring Dolores back to the mainland, she starts spreading DX around, they have to go back to this island to find the cure. And InGen would have had a cure on the island, surely.
I'm with Matt on that one. I'd like to see that one.
I think that's the only realistic option they have is as movie makers to go back to that island. Otherwise, what reason will they have now to go back there? They don't.
I agree. I think that is probably the route they're going to take. Personally, I'd love to.
I would love it. Absolutely love it.
I think it'd be great if they did perhaps a little bit similar to the Lost World in a sense, but I'd love to see a kind of a group of people bored of the hybrid mutant dinosaurs.
Yeah, get rid of that
revisit sauna, but it's a group of people who want to go and hunt them. A group of, as they put it, rich dentists go and hunt it. Granted, you've got to work out how to get our three kind of A-listers into that script, but something like that, I think it'd be great.
Yeah,
absolute dream would be a Jurassic Park prequel, but I don't think we're ever going to get that. So,
do you know what would be quite good actually? That's a good point. Like obviously you had like the Roland Tembo, but too many safaris, rich dentist, listen to any more suicidal ideas, okay? And you got that whole dialogue thing. Like he was such a asshole character, but you just loved him because he was so real. It was so real.
Yeah.
But he butt heads with Nick Van Owen because of their views on nature, and Sarah because their views. Like he just saw these creatures as prizes rather than anything else, and he was just a realist. And imagine going back to the island again with, like you said, like a Roland Tembo type people, and I could see Henry Loomis having an issue with this because do you think they were hinting with Zora and her story arc because Henry discussed with Krebs, was it Krebs he was talking to, about these creatures being, killing a dinosaur is a sin.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might have been that other guy that got killed by the Spino actually. Killing a dinosaur is a sin. You know, these creatures are that they shouldn't. You know, but what's the humane thing? They were even talking about it on the beach, weren't they? And then at the end of the day, she was just like, "No, right, we haven't got time for this. We got to go. We've literally got to go." And so they went into the mission. But I think there could be a story arc there where them three go back to the place because they need to get something, like one operation, literally in, out, boom, right? And while they're there, they discover the Ingeni type people that are there. They're killing these assets, and then you get that whole, like this isn't the right thing to do sort of thing. And then you've got that conflict like we had in The Lost World that ends up becoming a survival story where you get the DX, but you get the DX disease thing included in this. Like that's part of the main storyline. There is something in this. We need to kill this creature. To get it.
Would have been absolutely brilliant, right? Duncan doesn't get back on that boat as they're drifting off. You don't know if he's died or not. Everyone assumes he's died. We don't see him getting crunched. Then the next film, Rebirth 2, opens up and it's him on that island. And he's got to survive. Meanwhile, let's build it out further. The family are all petitioning to get that island bombed and carpet bombed. Like you were saying, napalm it because it's full of terrible dinosaurs. They're no good to anyone. Get it all bombed. The government are working it up, saying, okay, yeah, we agree. This is how we're going to do it. Zora, you've got 5 days to get in there and go and save him.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, he's there, existing, surviving on that island.
That'd work.
Lots of TRXP.
But I feel as if they didn't want to leave it open.
I mean, I feel like this movie's been made. This movie's been made for the general audience, not for the fans. I think. I mean, there's nods in it for the fans. Like there's the way it's filmed, the way it's shot, the animals. I think some of them are obviously made for the fans. However, I do think also like you got to think of what storyline with the general audience like. It clearly isn't aimed at kids this time, which is good. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
And I don't think we will go that route again. I think it needs to stay consistent with the way its tone of the movie is.
Yeah.
This is a tough call because I think there's enough stories out there in the Earth to equatorial regions to keep a story going. Like there could be another incident somewhere else where they need to sort out, or they need to spend the next movie, working on this science. That's what I was getting at with the Zora comment, because she was saying to Henry, wasn't she, that what would you do with it? And she was just like, well, I would sell it because I want my money. And then she came round the other end saying, I think it's a good idea that we do give it to the world. So it's almost like her story arc has changed from the start. She was very money orientated in the end, from the start, and then in the end she wasn't. She obviously grew to attach to Loomis, and she knew he was doing the right thing. And it'd be interesting to know how that would develop.
Do you know what though? I have zero interest anymore in that storyline. The heart disease storyline. I'm kind of where it finished is where it finished, and I'm fine with that. I don't think they need to explore that any further. So contractually, have they signed up for?
I don't think they have.
No.
I think if they sign on to another one, they'll probably sign on a 2-movie contract. I don't think it'll be one more. I think it will be, okay, we're thinking of doing this with the story. The Dominion's made X amount. Not Dominion. Rebirth has made X amount. We are going to continue this. We're going to spend the next 2 years writing what comes on after. We need you to be the main role again. She's got no more Marvel. I mean, what's her next big project? It's got to be this, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Mahershala's going to be doing next. I don't know. Like these three could be the new Alan, Ian, and Laura Dern of the new trilogy, really.
But do you know what? The
Yeah.
only problem with that is then you've got to have consistency with the story that you're telling.
You say that, but Jurassic Park, Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3 didn't have any consistency at all.
True, but there was only ever one of those three in the movie at that time.
Yeah, that's true
You know
as
what I
well.
mean? So
Arguably,
you had in Lost World you had Goldblum, but you didn't have any. Yeah, Laura Dern wasn't in it. You know,
No.
you have. Well, technically she wasn't it, but you know,
yeah.
well, in the third one. But there's no. What I'm saying is, I don't know. By bringing in new actors, does that open up new storylines?
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
Does it allow us to explore different areas of the world? Yeah.
But there's nothing to say that if these three come back in for the next films, that we don't have to have all three in each film every single time. You could do where it is you've got the second film's Loomis and What's the Features. Next film it's What's the Features and Duncan. So it doesn't have to have all three in at the same time. And even then, it's like you're going on the principle of, say, the original Jurassic trilogy, where you've got the main cast for the first film. Second film, you've got Hammond and Malcolm. Second film, you've got Grant and Ellie. You can still pepper the story with other likable characters, or even likable villains, if you will.
My worry with them not going along with this storyline of the heart disease thing is that this movie will then become more irrelevant, and
Yes.
I feel that if they don't do that, then the fans will moan even more, because they'll just think, "Oh, what was the point of this whole story of them going to get all these free?" Even though, Jack, I know what you're saying, it doesn't need to necessarily be a plot point, but for the continuity and the reasons of why should we bother going to see this film? Oh, we're going to find out what they did with those DNA samples from the last movie. I mean, if they make it so it's standalone enough to sort of survive as a separate film, I mean, this one doesn't necessarily need a sequel. We could just, go on, use our imagination and say, oh, well, they've gone off, they've got the samples off the island, they've gone back and they've saved humanity, or they've not saved humanity, but, they've cured, they've made they've extended life, which I did like, by the way. I like the fact they didn't find a cure, that they've found a way to extend life with heart disease as opposed to a cure of it. That makes it's a bit better. But I mean, there's not enough other story elements that would warrant. I don't know. I mean, do people turn up to a dinosaur movie to find out what they did with heart disease? No, they don't, which is a good argument. But it depends on where they take depends how far they go with it. I mean, they've got the samples. Like the pharmaceutical reasons they could be doing with this stuff. They could be testing them on creatures. They could be testing them on humans. It could lead to an area where I'm terrified of human hybrid with dinosaurs. Matt's favourite topic.
No, I'm taking it all in.
But I don't know. I mean, there's a reason to go back to the island. Yeah, of course. There's more science there for sure. There's more things we could look at. There's more we could work out what the hell these mutants even are.
The problem is though, like going back to the island, we're going to see the D-Rex again. We're going to see the Mutodons again. They're obviously going to bring in a couple of more hybrid mutants, whatever you want to call them. They're not really mutants, are they? Because they were clearly purposely designed. Mutants, especially. So, you know, actually, one thing that hasn't been touched upon, actually, which I want to mention, is that we were led to believe by Gareth Edwards that the D-Rex was something that we were supposed to feel sorry for. It never gave us anything in the movie for us to feel sorry for it. That's another thing. Like, a lot of stuff that was said prior to the release of this film just didn't have any substance to it when you actually watch the film, and it's frustrating.
I don't buy. The whole way through, I didn't buy the fact that they wouldn't have just destroyed the animal when it. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
No,
I don't know why you'd keep it around.
Exactly.
Why you would. Yeah, I mean, God, think of the cost to have kept it in that lab for what? To study it? Yeah, okay, I kind of get that. But if you then went on, let's say that was an early iteration, and then they got the T-Rex, wasn't it? That's what they were trying to. Well, they got they got there. If that's what you're saying, it was a prototype, for want of a better phrase, of the T-Rex. Well, they got there in the end with the T-Rex. Therefore, why keep?
That's why
Keep it around. Yeah.
That's why it makes no sense, because David Kep come out and said that in his mind the D-Rex was Tyrannosaur and Sauropod.
Yeah.
So it's clearly a hybrid. It's not a mutant. They're hybrids. The two animals that we see in this film, they're not mutants. They're hybrids.
Yeah.
If you're baking a cake and you burn the cake and then you make a second cake and it's perfect, you don't keep the burnt cake. You bin it.
You bin it, exactly.
So, I didn't subscribe to that, especially in the fact that they then went on to do it, like to get the end product they were after in the first place. What's then the point of keeping the one that you?
Exactly. Yeah.
I just didn't.
Jack. That sentence you just said about the burnt cake, I would love to hear that come from Jeff Goldblum saying that to John Hammond. When people burn the cake, they make new cake. They don't keep the burnt cake.
Get me on the scripting for the next one. Yeah, I just that was one thing that I just didn't agree with me the whole way through. You know.
Yeah. Same.
But I did one thing I didn't mention when we were talking about what we liked. I did love that end scene with the dolphins, the callback to JP1. I thought that was I thought it was great with the music. I actually thought even the lighting was exactly the same as when they were looking out of the window. So I thought that was a great, really good callback.
It's kind of foreshadowed, wasn't it? Because didn't the little girl say at the beginning on the boat when we got introduced to her that she wanted to see dolphins or something like that?
Yeah.
And so that was obviously what they were going with.
Yeah, brilliant.
I mean, look, I think it's certainly up for more discussions about what's going on next for Jurassic. I think we could have a few more people on for that discussion. Yeah, definitely. Me and Jack, we're going to go and see it again on Saturday. Oi.
Yeah, buzz him. I'll probably come out and hate it.
Yeah, you won't. Not after a second viewing. No. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to going and see it again. I already am, honestly. Whereas I didn't feel like that about Dominion. I know I didn't. I went and saw Fallen Kingdom a few times because I actually did like that. I liked the whole island stuff, and I kind of felt like we should have just stayed on that island for the whole entire movie.
Yeah.
Because I actually really did like the ruggedness of that, and it felt a bit more wild. I kind of wish that, and we went back to the mainland a bit too soon, I think. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this in a nice, relaxed, reclined, lounged chair at Showcase at Blue Water.
It'd be interesting to know how soon after Jurassic World was Jurassic World 2 announced, to see if they follow a similar.
I remember. That's a good question. I don't know when it was announced. Obviously, it was 3 years, wasn't it? Yeah. It came out 3 years later, so obviously you're giving yourself a year of pre-production, production, post-production. A good 18 months.
Yeah.
2 years there. I reckon when Jurassic World hit over $1 billion, they thought, boom, there we go. Let's get a horror director in. That's why they went with Bayona, but I'd get Gareth Edwards back.
I was about to say, if they go with another trilogy, then I think one of the problems Jurassic World trilogy had was that they changed director halfway through. Even though J.A. Bayona, I thought was brilliant at what he did, like he brought that horror sort of theme to the franchise. But I think keeping Gareth Edwards on board for the next movie and potentially a third, I think would be the way forward, because the way this film looked was beautiful. Like, it looked stunning.
I think that's why Jurassic Part 1 and 2 I love so much, because The Lost World arguably, as a story and the way it's edited and cut together, is a little bit of a shambles, actually, really. It's choppy in places, there's things that don't make sense, areas where people disappear, don't come back, and when you look at it from a negative standpoint, from a critic perspective, you could eat that animal, that film alive, really.
Yeah.
But the consistency with how they feel are the same. The same way all the Lord of the Rings films feel like they are literally one movie that's just been ended and then picked up again. And it felt like that with Jurassic Park 1 and 2. It felt like a Spielberg. It felt the same. It felt like it filmed the same way, sounded the same way. Whereas Jurassic Park 3 did feel different. But, I mean, I think, and these three films, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World Dominion, were filmed on 3 different aspect ratios as well.
Yeah.
That didn't help. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan. I hate the letterbox.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. I like the screen being full. You know, I don't pay for a 50-inch TV for it to then be 40 inches because of the bloody width restrictions. So that annoys me. However, I mean, whatever I want now. If Gareth does this next one, if there is another one, I want it to be the same. I want him to do it because I think he will do it the same way. I think it will feel like a constant. You know, why would he change the way he filmmakes? He wouldn't, would he?
No, exactly.
No, exactly.
That's his forte. That's what he's done. That's what he was picked for. So why would he change it? He wouldn't. So then we're guaranteed to at least have the same tone of a film in terms of color palette, the way the animals are shot, the way they're, you know, the choreograph, the scenes, all that sort of direction would be exactly the same. So I think getting him back would be the first thing I would do.
Yeah.
I would pay him money. I would say, look, you had a year to do that film, and it was already better than the last one that they had 2.5 years to do. So
longer with the pandemic,
with the COVID, exactly.
I'll be stunned if we don't get another one. I think the way that it's performing at the box office, I'd be stunned if we don't get another one.
Yeah,
one or two.
I mean, it'd be interesting to know how it does now. Superman's out. Because all the comic book nerds would be like jizzing all over that at the moment, won't they? So I don't think this will be put on the back burner. But this is more of a film. I mean, I don't know. It's going to have the effect that Romulus had on Alien, isn't it?
Yeah, this film, for me, I feel is Universal dipping their toe back in the water after the reception of Dominion to see whether they can get more films out of it. They've got the right director involved. They did very well with visual effects, despite the fact that there's no animatronics in it. That's going to save time and money, whereas before that would have been divided into studios for building models and animatronics, and then you've got a team of crew and everything. So that's already working in their favour. They've got a great cast. Whether they bring the same cast or part of that cast back for the next film is another question. But if they wrote this film with a 3-film treatment from the get-go, I think this has got potential to be a really good trilogy. If they've wrote this film and then it's, right, we'll worry about the rest of it after it's made $1 billion or whatever to make the other 2 greenlit, that's where I'll be a bit concerned. Because if they're then rewriting everything, retconning stuff from the first film, not really doing research into the other previous films before now to nod or to audibly informing viewers of what's going on, that would be a little bit of a dodgy territory for me.
The only thing I worry about this is just like, what's the point in it? Like, what's the point in it? Like, that's the only thing a lot of people that don't like this film have got an argument with. Like, what was the point? Like, where are we any better off? Are we like where? Like, what? Other than obviously, they did get the cure for the heart disease. But other than that, like, what was the point in it? Like, did we need it? No. Does it continue the story? No. Is it just to make money? Yeah, obviously. Yeah. But now they've done that. They can't, and they've. I mean, it could be left, couldn't it?
I think that's the question you can pose to when they reboot anything. You know, what was the point in the latest 3 Star Wars films? What's the point of the latest Indiana Jones? There is no point other than there probably isn't enough good storytellers out there that can make these big summer blockbusters anymore. That's the reason we've had 578 Marvel films. You know, because people run out of stories. They lean into what they know will make them the money. People aren't going to the cinema as much these
So expensive now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they're saying that. Do you know what? Actually, I was quite surprised when I went last week, the week before, whenever it was. It was 11 quid, and like my memory, and honestly, that was probably the first time I'd been to the cinema. I reckon it was the first time I've been to the cinema since maybe Dominion. Genuinely.
Was that just for a cinema ticket, or was that cinema ticket plus confectionery?
No, just a ticket. But I feel like I remember it being much more expensive. Much more expensive.
It's definitely more expensive now. Like, and when Jurassic World came out in 2015, like we had the Cineworld card as well, so we all paid that. We had a lot more time. We didn't have kids. Everyone was out and about, and you know, it was cinema was like there seemed to be like loads of stuff out in 2015 and around that era too. Whereas I think like now these days, I think where streaming services are getting things so much quicker now, people are thinking, you know, like I remember Jurassic World took I think that took 7 months to get to release on DVD. So there was still a little bit of a wait. Yeah. But now it's got even like faster. Like I remember like some of the stuff coming to Disney Plus like within 2 months of just being at the cinema.
Yeah.
And Amazon Prime and
Wicked.
But it's not even. Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say Wicked. When my wife went and saw Wicked in the cinema on a Friday, and on the Monday it was on. You could buy it on Sky. Like it was so quick going on to.
It's killing the cinema sort of thing. I mean, obviously, I assume that all these companies all get that. You know, they get the money for it, and Sky takes just a little cut of it for whatever. But it's just not. I think sometimes these films that are meant to be seen in a theatre are the ones that are struggling, because the independent films, or the ones that are like, you know, not theatrical ones, that don't need to be seen on the biggest screen you can. I think that's what Dominion's problem was, actually, is that it was a very cinematic movie, wasn't it? Like the cinematography of the film was actually quite good, I thought, with the whole panned out shots and all that, but it was so being on the big screen helped it, especially with the prologue scene and all that. But like most people will see these movies when they've been released at home, and then, you know, when you're at home, you know what it's like watching a film at home. People like on their phones. Like your kid gets up and goes to the toilet, the dog starts barking, that disrupts the movie. Just all these little random things like you don't get at the cinema, where you're like engulfed in the story. And so
you sure about that, James? Because every time I go to cinema, there's always someone on the phone talking away, just like an old couple arguing about who's having an affair with who. So it's like,
I'd be livid. No, but anyway,
when do you think this will be? You'll be able to get it in like a home purchase, sort of September.
I think like September, October at least.
I reckon October. I've already pre-ordered it through Sky, the Blu-ray.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's on time for Halloween.
Yeah, I reckon end of October, something like. Because it's normally about 4 months after the theatrical release. So, but I know it's coming to Prime. You can rent it on Prime at the end of July or start of August for about 20 quid. So
I'm hoping they definitely need to sort out the text at the start. They won't.
They do.
They won't.
No, they won't do. No.
It's such a bad
unless Gareth Edwards argues about that sort of information needs to be changed. The Universal won't do anything.
No.
There's no way they will do anything, because all they care about is the fact that people are going to buy it regardless.
Yeah, and although it might seem like a simple change, that is probably millions and millions and millions of pounds worth of ag that ultimately they may upset a few fans, but but
it could be the difference between getting bums on seats or not. I mean, like initially, unless you don't know about it, you're not going to know about it, are you?
Yeah.
But once you've seen the film, I know there's people from Outpost. Like I know Jack wasn't really particularly. He hated the film. And the lore is such a big thing for some people.
It is,
and when you mess that up, you know, are they going to go and want to watch the next one, or is it going to? I don't know.
But this is it though. It's like the idea of this franchise is always aimed at a 12A audience. You're always going to get that 12A audience that's going to develop over years and years and years. Whereas the audience that have been here since 1993 that get older and older and older, it doesn't matter if they decide not to watch the next film, because you've always got that 12-year-old that's coming in fresh off the streets like, oh, I really like dinosaurs, I'm going to go see this film.
Yeah. Do you know what's really cool about this is that this is Steve Dunn's Jurassic Park experience. He's only ever seen them at home on home release. He's never seen one at the cinema for them. So this is his. He's the same age that we were when Jurassic Park came out. So that's something he's really looking forward to. Actually, I'll have to get him to talk about that on the next time we do a live stream or something. Danny's first experience of. Yeah, that'd be good. Like, obviously, my little one's too young. I'm just a bit too little still, but definitely.
If I can watch Jaws 2 at the age of 4, I'm sure yours can watch Jurassic Park.
I mean, she's watched it before. She watched bits and bobs of it, and then it got a bit too much for her, to be honest. She's watched the cartoon stuff, but not really, because she liked the. You know what? This is just how it works. She instantly knew Bumpy was. We went to a dinosaur, like one of those walk-through park things. Like little statues that go, right? And there was an ankylosaurus there that it wasn't blue, but it had like a bluish sort of tinge to it. And she went, Daddy, look, there's Bumpy. She was only like 3 at the time. I was like, Christ, that's how easy it is. Like, that's how easy it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that is a good place to end the live stream. Hopefully, we'll rather than final thoughts, like, let's talk. Like, do you think everyone watched the film enough to rank it in a position yet, or still not sure yet?
For me, on a one view only, it's about a 7.58 out of 10 for me. Until I watch a second viewing and potentially a third viewing, I can't give you a definite answer. But at the moment,
that's a good question. Is that 7.5 on a Jurassic scale or on a movie scale?
On a Jurassic scale.
Okay.
Yeah. Agreed. And I'm going 1, 2, 3, 7, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, different.
Say that again. Sorry, I got confused after
I'm
you said
going
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 7, 4, 5, 6.
Right, so it's in your top 5 as well, right? Okay, so you're the same as me then. Yeah.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 4, 3, 7, 5, 6.
That's my telephone number.
Yeah.
This sounds like codes to some private email site.
Oh my god!
Come on, Matt.
1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6, 7.
6, 5. Ooh, 7, yeah. It's down there at the bottom for me.
I mean, Sam hates JP3. Honestly, mate, I really like that film, and I will argue to the hill. I don't understand. The dialogue's funny. It's great. It's cheesy. It's Jurassic. It's more Jurassic than anything that's come after it.
Yeah.
But it's an easy watch, that one. I can't help but want to put it on.
Yeah. That's the best Raptors in the franchise as well.
It does. Yeah. So, shut up. Anyway, what else was I going to say? Nothing really, other than just say that we're going to go. So, that's Mike. Anyway, thanks for watching the show, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new, hope you consider subscribing for more content. And obviously, we're going to do some more stuff coming out based on Rebirth. So check that out. Click the notification bell, and then you won't miss any of our videos. Until next time, only one thing left to say, boys. Life will find a way. Bye-bye.